Care Centre at Surfers Paradise, and we've normally done this through a gentleman called Dino, who has been associated with the Crisis Centre for a long time, and he also, in his prime, and he's not in his prime now, used to go around the streets in the middle of the night donating clothes to the homeless people. And the thing that I always stuck in my mind is Dino used to come along and say, I need donations of clothes, but don't give me any crap, because I only want good stuff, because he wanted to make sure that the people he was giving the clothes to, that improved their self-esteem. Sadly, Dino's not well enough to come, but we're delighted to have Sue Williams, who's the director of the Crisis Care Centre, here with us today. And Sue, if you'd like to come forward, we'd like to give her a cheque for $1,000, and that goes towards the food that the Crisis Care Centre, which is manned by volunteer Rotarians who, correct me if I'm wrong, I know it used to be that it was cooked by Rotarians and served by Rotarians, and I've certainly been down there and had a few meals with clubs down there. We pay our normal rate and donate that to the Crisis Care Centre, but the people who come pay $1 or $2 or nothing if they have no money. Is that still correct? Yeah. So Sue, it gives us great pleasure to give you a cheque to help towards Christmas for the homeless.
Thank you so much for this, and thank you for your continued support. I don't know if many of you know about Surfers Paradise Anglican Crisis Care. I went there 3 years ago as a professional MYOB trainer to help them set up a new package. I could not leave them. They do such a wonderful job. I'm now treasurer, and they have 3 arms. We do food for the homeless, which we feed 40 people a day. And at Christmas it's about 120, and these are regular people. And in that dining room on that day we have mental health experts, we have Queensland health nurses, we have homelessness, we have Centrelink, we have Auscare nurses. So there's people that are regularly helped with mental health issues, trying to find accommodation, training and all sorts of things. We don't just feed them and send them away. The people there to help for long-term care, and we've had a lot of success with people getting their act together and getting help and getting off the streets. There are obviously the hardcore that want to live on the streets, and that's their choice. The second arm that we have is a welfare office, and we get money from the government, but we also get a lot of donations too to help families in crisis. We get people that just may have lost their job and they've got mortgages and they're not coping on Centrelink, because actually when you've had a full-time job and you've got a family, Centrelink is very hard to live on. And we've got donations of food, donations of clothing. We give, a woman might come in and she's a victim of domestic abuse and she's trying to find a house, and we give her a set-up pack for the home. There's all sorts of things that go on from this tiny, tiny office, all manned by volunteers. And then the government have given us some money, so we can give them a cheque for Woolworths. We have a relationship with Woolworths. They can't buy anything other than food. There's no goodies allowed or cigarettes or anything like that. Woolworths monitor it for them, for us, and they go away with some food cheques too. And then the third arm is we have 2 houses where we have people who are, it's young men, who it's long-term traditional housing, and we give them a stability. It's a supported program, so we have managers looking after them to get them into work, get them into training, and get them stabilised, because they may have come from the streets or prison, and we're trying to get them in a stability that they can go and live I'm going to say normal, our standard of normal, but get them set up. So there's quite a lot goes on. There's 1 paid manager and half an admin person. The rest is all volunteers, and food comes in and it goes to the people immediately. It's a wonderful organisation. We have kids come from schools and work in the kitchen. That is so good for them, because the kids that go back to school and go, wow, I am so blessed, look at what I've got, and look at these people. And like you said, Clint, homelessness, people think there aren't homeless people on the Gold Coast. And a lot of homeless people actually have trouble getting Centrelink, because if they're mentally ill and they can't fill the forms in correctly, they don't get Centrelink. So we've got men there that come every day, they get a cup of coffee at 8 o'clock in the morning and some fruit or cake or whatever, they have a shower, they get cleaned up, they might get some clean clothes from the office, they then stay for lunch, they get a sandwich pack and fruit, and there are people that we actually keep alive because they really struggle. And one of our young men in the homes was living off fish on the canals, and he lived like that for 5 years, and he came to us for help. He's now in a home that we run, and he's doing numeracy and literacy, he's doing a welding course, and we hopefully will get a job next year. I'm getting goosebumps talking about him because he's such a lovely young man that the world had given up on. And this, you can tell I'm really passionate about this group of people. There's 70-year-olds that go to the kitchen every day that have been there for years. People there just give, and they love the people. There's no judgment. We take everybody at face value, and we try to do the best we can. Obviously funding is tight, and a lot of our people are getting older. There are a lot of retired people, so we're again looking, like you, Clint, for new blood and bringing people in to help us. So we very much appreciate what you do. I'd love you all to come down and have a meal and see it, because until you see it, you can't believe how tiny it is and what it does. And we had the funding body from the state government yesterday. We're signing a new contract, and they only give us a partial amount for what we do. And they said that we were the hub of the help and support for people in surface, because there was no organisation on the coast that offered the breadth of help that we do. And I didn't know that because I'm fairly new, but this organisation's been going for 30 years, got a very low profile, so we're about to do a new strategic plan, look for a new building, try and get more space so we can have day beds, and we want to do more, and that's our new project with the new members on the committee to try and take the place forward. We've now got a Facebook page, but nobody there knows how to use it. So we're trying to bring ourselves into it a bit, because people just don't have the time as well. They're just giving to people and working in the kitchen or helping in welfare. They don't have the time to do the infrastructure things. So this is a great benefit. I can assure you it goes straight to the people that you want to help. Thank you for your continued support, and I wish I knew who Dino was, because he started it all off, so thank you once again.